And now it's time for karate chops. Ching! Because it's time for the terrible twos.
Bottom line. That's why we do the karate chops. It's the bottom line. It's at the bottom, and I'm drawing a line. Bottom line.
Speaking of line, I need to close my blinds. There we go.
Close your bottom lines.
Mm-hmm. So this is it. The final two questions of the show, the two most important questions of all time, starting with question number 1. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this first episode of Avenue 5 entitled I Was Flying?
I was just flying. I would I loved the humor. The humor, like Ryan mentioned, it's just like a mile a minute. It's just you just get bombarded, joke, to the point where it was like hard to like take notes about everything, but I had to because I wanted to talk about all the funny things that I was hearing. And so I love comedy. It's one of my favorite things to watch, to Ryan's chagrin oftentimes. And especially British comedy.
British comedy is not even real comedy.
I don't think this was a British comedy, though. I believe it was an American creator. I'd have to double check, though. But I think Hugh Laurie is the only one who was doing an American accent, though.
If I read correctly, it may have been the same creator as Red Dwarf.
We can look into that later.
But
my point is 8 out of 10.
I predicted that. I knew it was going to be an 8, but I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't want to say, what would you give it and why is it an 8? But I was like, no, I don't want to show off my prediction skills too much. Melissa, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode?
Well, let's show off your prediction skills and see.
Fine. I think that you're initially going to give it a 4, but after talking and having fun with us, that you're going to give it a 5.
I'm saying 7.
You were pretty close. I was initially going to give it a 4.9.
But you did change your mind.
Yeah, because I did like some of the a lot of the Matt stuff, and I like Hugh Laurie and the hair. I mean, her hair and her hair. I don't like his hair, and then her hair, and then the astronaut's hair was pretty great. Yeah, so I'll bump it up to a 5 because I did laugh out loud at some parts.
God bless it. I'm so good at this.
The creator is Scottish, but he also created Veep.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So
another HBO show.
So now we know. Well, I'll tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, boy, I might as well just stick with what I was going to give it last night, which I must have been drunk or something. An 8. I feel like it was a little messy. A lot of things were a little messy. They focused more on funny lines and funny acting and funny quips more so than on making sure that the story was cohesive. And so that should
definitely the set was very messy after all the yoga people flew to the side, and they didn't really take any time to clean that stuff up.
Not until after they were done. So, normally that would knock it down quite a bit if you don't have that great of a story. But if there's one genre that it's okay to focus on just being funny, it's comedy. And the bottom line is, if you are laughing in a comedy, then they're basically doing what they're trying to do. So it was very clever, and I was very impressed with it. Now, maybe 7 or 8 episodes in, you get a little tired of just the constant quips, and you're like, what's this show even about? I'm kind of bored. But the story was good enough for it not to hurt it too much. And I love the idea. The idea is funny. It's a 3-hour tour. It's like kind of that thing. So anyway, it's an 8, surprisingly, for a British comedy that was pretending like it's not a British comedy. By the way, I Googled it while you guys were talking, and it says It says principal photography for the pilot took place in 2018 in London, England.
Okay.
Which is what
Star Wars
And
was
she
filmed
British
we
in
just
too.
saw.
also.
Yeah, but she was British too. And
Who are you pointing at? We can't see. No, we can't.
It's
No.
the woman with the hair that goes flat. And
Oh, the
goes
super
down.
flat. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I mean,
Roz.
she is rocking that hair.
Elisa, we need you to wear that kind of hair one of these days. That would be
Okay.
amazing.
Especially for Virtual Trek Con.
Okay.
Next week. You got 1 week.
We'll
Probably.
figure it out. And I have a feeling that Billy isn't American, the woman who played Billy,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. I feel like that she's
I felt
not
like half
American.
of them were faking American accents, but were British actors. But anyway, that's what we rated it. More importantly, everybody, is this question that goes a little something like this. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Avenue 5. But now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, we know this answer. Would you watch the second of your own volition?
Would I watch the second episode again? Let's see. If you're asking if I would watch the first season, then I have, yes. My wife and I watched this when it came out in 2020, and
Wow.
I've been very secretive so that not to let you in on that.
Yeah. You fooled us. Yeah,
but yeah,
because you didn't give any hints.
No, I was
What a
very,
pro.
very
What a pro.
sly and coy, but I would watch the second again. I would.
Very nice. Melissa, being the eternal optimist with a hint of pessimist, which on certain days, would you watch the second of your own volition?
Well, here's the thing, is that I've already watched the second episode, and I've actually watched the whole first season as well. And even though I may not have,
It's only like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Did you just watch it like in the last couple days? Oh, okay.
No, I watched it when it came out. And even though I wasn't too hip on the first episode, it got funnier for me. So yeah. And so that's my it's a little biased as to, I would watch the second because I already know it gets better.
Well,
knowing that it gets better, Ryan.
Here's my fun trick to you guys. I too have already watched the entire first season 2 years ago. No, I haven't. I've never even heard of this show, or I thought that I hadn't, but I guess maybe I have. Well, I thought that first episode was plenty. It was nice. It was cute. It was welcome. It wasn't that long, so that's fine. But there's look. Here's the thing. Sometimes you like to eat ice cream, right? You like to eat ice cream. Would you want to eat ice cream for every meal all the time? No. After you eat ice cream, do you want to just turn around and eat a second dose of ice cream, or do you want to just take a break from ice cream? Right?
But let me ask you this: would you want to eat ice cream once a week?
Nah, probably not.
That's a better question.
But I would watch the second episode of this show because, again, a little messy, but they did rule number one of comedy, which was be funny, and even more so was just a different. God, it's refreshing to see somebody write something that's funny in a different way. Even if it doesn't make you laugh out loud, it's clever. That makes it smart. If they're doing something funny in a different and clever way, that's smart, and it makes you appreciate it. And it made me appreciate it. And I'm like, okay, they deserve to be appreciated in my book. So yes, from me.
What is that?
I
just a freeze frame.
I don't know if these guys I don't know if these guys got a second season or not. Like when it was first released, it was like right in the middle of the pandemic. So they probably shot it before the pandemic.
Right.
And we're working on editing it.
Otherwise, that yoga scene would have like 4 people.
Well, yeah, because Ethan Phillips was talking about being in the show. Well, he was talking about that to Aaron. But yeah.
Mm.
So they did shoot it before the pandemic and before Aaron went away. So,
That was quite some time ago then.
Like from what I'm seeing, looks like they do have a season 2.
So look forward to that, everybody.
Not
All right.
confirmed yet, but not confirmed yet. But
And where is it shooting, Michael?
I don't know.
yeah, and I was excited for season 2 when I finished the first season 1. I remember now.
Me too, yeah. But I will tell you, Ryan, that they shot most of Star Wars in England as well. So, and that is an American film. So, bully to you.
That doesn't take away the fact
Scottish writer
that I was able to predict that it was in England, because just watching it and listening to the people, I'm like, these guys are British guys faking American accents. This is British. I could tell. Yeah.
Hugh Laurie, yeah.
This is international humor.
That's better description.
Maybe
international humor in English.
I'll have my French family watch it. We'll see how hard they laugh. We'll see.
Well, but they have to be a native English. If you're a native English speaker, this is going to be funny to you.
Yeah. Translations probably
French,
won't work very well.
If you speak French, you probably don't laugh too much anyway. So
no, we only laugh at American stupidity, huh?
Yeah. When somebody makes a fool of themselves, or
that's funny.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
Mm. Well, speaking of making a fool of themselves, not on purpose, it's time to move on. Everybody at home, Melissa just looked at the clock. She's like, oh, already. Everybody at home, if you'd like us to review a show, it can be good, it can be bad. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you've never seen it. You just want to know, is this even worth my time? What if I don't feel like watching this 20-minute show? I should watch this 1 hour show to decide if I want to watch this 20-minute show,
Right.
So in the description
we'll watch
box,
it for you if we decide that we want to watch it. Yeah,
exactly. So just type in WTF and the show in the comments below, and there's a very good chance that we will review that show, whatever it may be. Must be a show, not a movie.
There's a lot of shows. We'll probably get to it eventually, but
and who was it that suggested this one, Michael?
I don't remember. Was it Jim Jam something?
Jim Jam 24. Good old Jim Jam 24. And
Jim
also
Jam 24.
Terrence. And also Terrence.
And Terrence too. They both suggested that. So
they're
both on the same. I wonder if they're even like this. They're just the same person with 2 different accounts or something.
Could be. It might be Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
So be sure to do that. And also, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Come on. It's free. It costs you nothing. You don't get any spam.
Free?
Yeah, just do it.
Whoa.
And it's like liquid
so few
gold
things
dust.
in this world are free these days.
I know. Ain't it the truth?
But it helps us. It really does. So if you want to support this show, then just click that one button and it helps us. It's pretty cool. And that's about it. So everybody remember that this podcast was a laugh a minute.
This podcast made a fool of itself, even though it didn't mean to.
This podcast had some great information of the upcoming virtual TrekCon 3 with the very, very first annual Laffy Awards. Woo!
TrekCon 3. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So everybody at home, we'll see you at Virtual TrekCon 3. And also, please do us a favor and remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg always likes to say.
I love to remind people to register to be an organ donor at Donate Life. Do it. Don't forget. Don't forget to remember. Remember to not forget. And I also like to tell people that after you've gone and registered to be an organ donor, to not forget to watch the first of things.
All right, freeze frame like we're in a British comedy.
No, well, so I guess if this is a British comedy, I'll just be like, Laura, just saluting. I'm just saluting in a British comedy, which this is not a British comedy, but I'm speaking like I'm a British.